Hi, everyone. Welcome to Gratitude Days. My name is Raina. I'm a recovery coach here at Capital Recovery Center. So it's been a little while since I've done the Gratitude Day meetings. I have been in training classes, dealing with mental health to better help people who come into our center be able to handle mental health and address those topics. So today I thought, since I'm kind of already on that mental health ride, that we would do how gratitude can transform your mental health. Because these two things go hand in hand quite often, about changing your mindset to help you, have a more positive mental health. So this article comes from Forbes.com by Nicole McDermott. And it starts out by talking about what gratitude is. So it says, while it can look a little different from one person to another, gratitude is generally defined as a disposition or characteristic that allows an individual to perceive and appreciate the positive and meaningful aspects of life. So basically, it's a mindset that helps you see positive instead of negative. Gratitude can also be described as an emotion of thankfulness and recognition. I'm not sure what that's. Gratitude can be described as an emotion of thankfulness and recognition. I don't know how to rest that sentence. So how do you know if you're grateful for something? According to Dr. Moy, when you're feeling grateful for something, we handle that particular part of life with care, attentiveness, and consciousness. So basically, when you're grateful for something, you're going to take care of it. I use like the example of a car. You get some hand-me-down car, it's kind of crappy, you're just like, whatever. Don't really bother fixing it up, and you might miss an oil change, like all these different things. But when you work hard and get that car for yourself, and it's something that you've actually wanted and you've worked towards, you tend to have more of a perspective of, I'm going to take care of this because it matters to me. I'm grateful for it. I worked hard for this. So another way to think about gratitude is that it often elicits warm, positive emotions, including happiness, love, and joy. It's the opposite of feelings like resentment, envy, and regret. If you tend to be a grateful person, you may also be more generous and compassionate towards others. So when it talks about like the 5 mental health benefits of gratitude, while several studies link gratitude to enhance physical health, reduce stress, a stronger immune system, improve sleep quality, and lower blood pressure are just a few. Practicing gratitude can also help improve your mental health in some pretty meaningful ways. So the first one talks about gratitude can help regulate your emotions. Research suggests gratitude plays a role in a person's ability to identify and regulate emotions, with some studies pointing to a possible relationship between gratitude and emotional intelligence. So it says, when we focus our attention on the good in our lives, the components that are making us feel sad or worried are minimized. This perspective can give us a sense of emotional freedom and serenity regardless of what we face. Regulating emotions is something that's very difficult to do, and it takes practice. And I feel that a lot of times when we come into recovery, our emotions are all over the place. We're happy one minute, we're sad the next, we're stressed, we're upset, we're tired or lonely, whatever they may be, and they can come and go so quickly. And to get a handle on those things, it takes some work. But being able to find some gratitude in that can help minimize those and help regulate those emotions so that you're not going from extremes up and down, up and down. Things happen in life. It's just how, life on life's terms. But if we can learn how to regulate our emotions and try and find just that little bit of something in like different things that's positive, it can make it so much easier. If you're having a bad day, try and shift that change. Try and say, okay, you know what? I was at work and this very stressful thing happened and it had me upset. Now I'm home and I'm going to find, a place to, channel that and find something that I can be grateful for to help minimize that stress and the anger, whatever it may be. The next one is gratitude can help regulate your emotions. So as research suggests, gratitude plays a role in a person's ability to identify and regulate. Oh wait, we just read that one. I'm sorry. Can help elevate your mindset. When someone feels grateful, which can be described as a positive emotion in itself, research shows they tend to experience more positive feelings overall. Some studies also find that building gratitude practices into psychotherapy sessions can actually help promote a positive cognitive mindset based on because the focus shifts from negative experience to more positive ones. Reaping the benefits of thinking positively can take time, but with practice, the pursuit of happiness can be worthwhile and effective one. As we develop a relationship with gratitude, it can become easier to reframe our thinking in difficult moments of life. Again, it's like that practice. You have to keep doing it until you feel that like you'll start to see the benefits of it. It talks about studies showing that building gratitude can actually help promote a positive cognitive mindset. And that's really the goal. You know what I mean? I know that for many of us, including myself, when, I came into recovery, I was not the most positive person. You know what I mean? I had been stripped of everything that meant anything to me. My morals, like all these things that like, I was just like this empty shell, and I saw no positive in my future. But I continued to stay clean, and I continued to do things for my recovery. And eventually that kind of dark cloud was lifted, and I could see things in a more positive light. I could see, that, slowly but surely things were coming back in my life. And it's all because I tried to keep going forward, even when I didn't want to, even when that positivity was nowhere to be found. I just stuck with it, and eventually I was able to find more positive in things along the way. And it's helped me to appreciate things a lot more in my life now, where things that I may have taken for granted, I have a better appreciation for. So next one says, gratitude can help you feel more connected to others. Gratitude may help people feel more connected to others and the world around them, which can lead to increased happiness and decreased loneliness. Research backs that point, with studies finding that gratitude can help promote emotional closeness and the maintenance of strong bonds in intimate and non-intimate relationships. Additional studies suggest the expression of gratitude and the coinciding ability to strengthen social bonds may help reduce feelings of loneliness and disconnectedness. Absolutely. You know what I mean? Like, feeling lonely is one of the worst feelings, because you feel like you don't matter, or that, nobody wants you around, nobody wants to be your friend, all these things that we tell ourselves, which are not true. But that loneliness and that being disconnected can make it very, very hard to see positive outcomes of relationships at all. But once you do start building relationships, whether they be relationships that you damaged in active using, or they're new relationships in recovery, as friends, romantically, work relationships, all of them can, benefit from using gratitude. Because when you show somebody that you are grateful for them, or you treat them with their respect and give them like the attention and the positive in you, you'll notice how that comes back and forth, and that your relationships will be more positive and healthy. And for a lot of us, intimate relationships, whether that just means, romantically, or an intimate relationship can be with just someone else. I mean, not like a purely platonic relationship, or it can be a relationship with our parents or children. Because you want to find some intimacy in those relationships. And when you do, they build a stronger foundation for them. And you have more, like, I would say beneficial, but the relationships become healthier, and they are more beneficial for both you and the other person that you're building that bond with. And having a sense of gratitude, for someone else makes you put out more of an effort to, build that healthy relationship or rebuild that relationship. You know what I mean? Because once we start feeling lonely again, we start separating ourselves, we start isolating. And the more that happens, then we start to lose grip on that positivity. So in order to keep that going, it's always great. Even if like you haven't spoken to somebody in a couple of weeks, just like a quick text to say, hey, I was thinking about you, hope everything's okay. Something very little like that can go a long way for you and for the other person. Because you never know, the person that you're reaching out to may not have, you may not have talked to the last couple of weeks because they're struggling with something, or, maybe they're not feeling well. So that could be like a big thing for them as well. And then again, then they're grateful for the fact that you reached out, and that just kind of builds upon each other. So the next one is gratitude can motivate you towards better outcomes. When you're grateful for something, that gratitude is often reflected by and aligned with your outcomes. For example, when we hold gratitude for our endurance, it will be reflected in our eating habits and physical activity. Research suggests gratitude exercises may, in fact, lead to more positive outcomes. Not only can they encourage health-promoting behaviors like healthier eating, but they've also been found to inspire pro-social behavior or helping others. As an added benefit, pro-social behavior may lead to increased social support, i.e. friends and acquaintances who are available and able to help you, which is another factor linked to improved mental health. It like kind of builds off of what I was like just saying about, giving and receiving back in a relationship. And when you are promoting like the health within yourself, whether that's physical health, mental health, emotional health, whatever it may be, when you're trying to, strengthen any of that, and you kind of just exude that, people can tell. They can see that you have a glow, or some friends says, your aura, whatever it may be. That like happiness, that gratitude, that peacefulness, that comes out. And in turn, you know what I mean? We get back what we give out. And, you can see that people will be more drawn to someone who has a more positive outlook on things. And it says, and the inspire the pro-social behavior. I'm a member of a 12-step fellowship. And one of the things that I find absolutely amazing is that I can go to someone who I may not even know all that well, or it could be someone that I've known a long time. And I say, look, I know you've been through this. I need some help. And they will help. Or it could be something like, hey, I heard that you know how to do plumbing. My kitchen sink's acting up. Can you look at it? And they'll just come look at it because you are being pro-social and proactive and, have built these relationships with people, whether they're small or big, and then showing your gratitude for them helping you. Because really, in the end, they don't want anything from you. The gratitude is more than enough for anyone who's helped. I have people ask me for things and I'm like, no, like you don't have to worry about it. This isn't a pay me back situation. We don't have to do things like that. This is just what we do. We help each other. So the next one says, gratitude can help protect you from the effects of stress. The connection between gratitude and improved mental health in the face of stress has been recognized by researchers for quite some time. One study found feeling more gratitude to be associated with less stress during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, a time marked by a significant uptick in stress and anxiety levels for many people. And there are people that are still dealing with that. We may not see it on a small scale, but in the bigger picture, a lot of people have developed, anxiety and stress based around the COVID-19 pandemic. And they're still struggling to come out of that. Their whole lives were turned around because of it. But it goes on to say that gratitude anchors us back toward our inner knowing that we are in control of our peace by how we choose to respond to stress. I love that. we are in control of our peace, because it's not about controlling all the outside situations, all the things that are going on in your life. That's out of our control. It's about how we react to different things. And we can choose to react in a negative or toxic or, just unhealthy manner, which in the end will create more stress. Or we can choose to practice the peace and the gratitude and the positivity and minimize the stress. I'm going to use an example of something I just went through with my daughter. She lives in another state and her car, crapped out. So I was like, listen, I can help. I can get you a car. I can't get much, but it'll give you something that runs. And found a car. Great. She came and picked it up. She drove it home. And she's on the phone with me crying because the air conditioner is not working. Which she lives in Florida, so I can completely understand why she's upset. And she wanted to take that out on me. She was overwhelmed. She had just driven all these hours with no air conditioning. She's stressed out. It's a car that she did not pick out because she wasn't here, and she had to relinquish her control and allow me to do that for her. So she let those negative aspects build up, and it overwhelmed her. And then it spilled forward onto me. And of course, my first reaction is, why are you being so ungrateful? But in the grand scheme of things, because I have put in some work, I can step back and look at things from where she's coming from and realize that, she's already upset that her other car was done. She had to take time off of work to fly up to go and get this one. So, and now she owes me money for a car, like all these things that she did not anticipate happening. And being young, it's very hard to regulate all of that because you don't have the experience. You sometimes don't have the tools. And so instead of me lashing back out, right, because I have some sense of what she is going through and some understanding of why she is lashing out the way she is, I just took a deep breath. I let her get it all out. And, eventually she's like, Mom, I'm so grateful that you did this for me. And I'm sorry. Like, she realized, she was grateful. She just needed to shift that focus from the negative, the one thing that was wrong with the vehicle. Because in reality, it wasn't about the vehicle, it was about everything else surrounding it. She's very independent. She feels like, okay, I got to rely on Mom. All these different things. It wasn't about the air conditioning. It was about everything else. And eventually she was able to bring it back to that gratitude, to that positivity. She just had to work through it. And that's okay. That's okay. If you have a situation like that where you're overwhelmed and your AC stops working and that's what ticks everything off, find somebody you can vent to. Find somebody that will understand, somebody that will listen. And eventually you work through it, and that you find the peace, you find the calm, you find the gratitude. And now it's been like, she sent me several messages. I'm sorry again. I appreciate you so much. She just needed to get there. It takes practice. Gratitude takes practice. You're not going to be the perfect person. You want to try and do as little harm as possible while figuring all that out, while, all the different topics, regulating your emotions, elevating your mindset, finding ways to become more connected to others. And then, motivation. While you're going through all these things and you're trying to learn all these things, it's okay to not, get it right every time. We're human. It's going to happen. As long as you're doing it to the best of your ability, it's going to get easier and easier, and your mindset is going to become more positive and more positive. So with that being said, if you are in a situation where you are struggling, you are having a hard time regulating emotions, you are having a hard time finding the positive in things, or finding the gratitude for what you have because you're still, consumed by all the things that you've done or the damage you've caused or what you don't have, call us. We've all been there. All the coaches here have gone through it. We have lost everything and we have rebuilt, some of us more than once. So please just reach out. That's what we're here for. We want to be able to help you find the gratitude in your life that we have found in ours to help you have a more positive, stress-free, well, not stress-free, less stressful life. So any little thing that we can do to help. We have gratitude journals. We have different activities that we can practice with you. Sometimes it's just hearing another voice on the other end of the phone that says, yeah, I understand. So please come in, be part of our groups, be part of the positive change. We would love to have you. And hopefully I will see you all next week. Thank you.